Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sports for All podcast. Today I'm going to be covering blue tag and blue belt. Blue belt means the growth of a student towards maturity. It represents the sky, and the student is like a plant maturing and growing taller towards the heavens. I kind of agree with this. I feel like blue belt. Things are positively going. You've been doing taekwondo for a good long time at this point. You're learning the harder ends of the patterns. You're learning take it five, you're learning take it six. Take it six is my favorite pattern ever. Like I love take it six so much. It's got my favorite kicks in it, which is the turning kick, and I always love to do it at competitions. It's definitely my strongest pattern. I love turning kicks and I can do them quite well. So my blue tag grading, I found a photo of my of my blue tag grading. It's a really funny one of me, Claudia, Aaron, Theo, and I'm in my sparring gear, and they aren't. I think they all just came to support me because we used to do that all the time. We used to go to each other's gradings to like support and like help out at the gradings, and yeah, just be there for each other. But there's a photo of me in my sparring gear. I look pretty exhausted. I think that grading was one of the ones where did I did my theory and then I did my actual main grading and then we had to come back in for sparring because it was quite a small group, that grading from memory. I think there was only three of us and obviously I passed because there's a photo basically near enough directly under it of Damien putting blue tags on my belt. I might share that one actually, it's really quite cute. So my first event as a blue tag was the Ilpic Hang seminar. Now, this seminar was me, Dorota, Damien, and Peter. We went to represent the club, and this was when I was starting to do things a bit different from my friends and starting to get more involved and just really take an interest. And that seminar was actually a day after my 13th birthday. So I had my two friends, Georgie and Ellie, shout out to you guys for who were listening to this, for a sleepover that night before. And I left them asleep and went to the seminar, left my friends basically asleep, which was quite funny. She was like obsessed. I was like willing to like leave my 13th birthday party and sleepover with my best friends and go down to Dublin and train. But we picked Dorota up and this was our first time like kind of spending time with Dorota, and that was kind of when we became really like close with her, and she became like one of my best friends and my mom's best friends as well. And yeah, Dorota has the second name, same second name as me, so she's literally like family. And her husband James is amazing too, and her son and she's got an older daughter too, but we became really close with James and Dorota. They're big, like Dorota's a massive supporter of me, and yeah, I love her lots. So I know she'll be listening to this, so massive shout out to you, Dorota, you're the best. I digress. So that seminar that I know I said this, oh, all the seminars are so fun, but this one, it was amazing. Like even my mum says, and she doesn't do taekwondo, like she doesn't really know anything about it except from watching me spending months, basically, well, it probably does add up to months, in sports halls, and yeah, spending a lot of time with the people in the club, and obviously me, and being like a massive cheerleader and being involved in that way, but she doesn't actually know anything about taekwondo in terms of, the intricacies of it. But even she was fascinated with Il Kang. It was quite a long seminar, and I definitely felt a bit out of my depth, as I often did at seminars, to be honest. Especially, and there wasn't any, I didn't know anybody my age going, like it was all adults and all higher belts mostly. But we just went over take it one, which is the pattern that you learn for when you're gonna do your yellow belt, and I was mesmerized. We broke it down into each section, like each move into small chunks. It was the most amazing thing. I was so interested. My mum actually got me his book for my birthday and it was signed. I loved his work. I loved how he was doing it. I loved how he was teaching. I didn't realize that even the basic pattern, like we spent an hour doing that pattern, and it's not a massively long pattern. 18 moves in it. It's only got two kicks in it, a few punches, a few blocks. Like it's nothing massively complex, but it's seeing that from a different perspective. And me and Dorota were only allowed to stay for the first session, but I think both of us could have stayed easily for the second one. Um, and we were able to bring so much learning away from it as well and into the club. I remember that seminar hanging out with Peter quite a lot. And I also made friends with my friend called Nora, who was a black belt who lived down south. Was I think she was like a maybe she was a red belt at that point. Lovely, lovely girl, and I became like quite close with her. I'm sure I'll talk about her in some of my other episodes. That seminar was amazing, and then that week we had a defibrillator training for the club because we had managed to be successful in getting sponsorship for a defibrillator for the club, and also we were also trying to raise money to get one ourselves. That was such an informative thing to do at 13. It's so, so important. I think anybody should get first aid training. Like everybody should be aware of how to help people, first response training. And we did it in school, but I didn't get as much benefit from it. But I learned a lot that day, and we also had some fun as well. So I think it's always, you have to learn and have to enjoy yourself when you learn to, don't you? And then a few weeks later was our 2016 Halloween party. I'm looking at the photo of the costumes here. We have a range from devil to zombie to stickman. Richard's dressed up as Aladdin. Amazing, amazing. Um, I have my pizza costume on, which is pretty cool. Definitely not my best costume. I will definitely shout out my best costume, but definitely up there. Hot dog, unicorns, yeah, the full range, really. Very fun evening. I'm sure we did loads of games and the mummy wrapping. I can't remember who. I've lost track of what year who was getting mummy wrapped that year. But there's also loads of photos of us at Michelle AR's mum's house, with our Halloween costumes. So funny. And then we move on to the it's quite quiet, and then Christmas party at Michelle's house as well. There's photos here of us also singing karaoke, and oh gosh, the videos. Yeah, I don't think anybody needs to hear that. It's bad enough listening to my Northern Ireland accent without hearing a bunch of um 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 year olds singing, and grown-ups as well. So then we get to 2017. And 2017 was we did our own interclub championships. I think it was just mainly just to get the kids competing, and just something nice to look forward to in the new year. I don't really remember a lot about that competition, except that is when I met one of my best friends, Amy. Massive shout out to Amy. I'm sure she will listen to this. I love you lots, Amy. Amy was at a different club. She was at a club, and then she started doing after schools with Damien. And she got put in a team with Claudia and AR. And then like we all became friends, and then she started to come to the classes more regularly, and then she started to come away with us, and um we started to get to know her parents, Michelle and Jerry. Literally like my family. Massive shout out to Michelle and Jerry too, because I love them as well. So that was fun. And then at the end of the month we went away to Blue Wave. I love Blue Wave. Was paired up with a guy. I can't remember his name, but I see the photo here. We got a bronze. And it was always lovely competition. Jerry, who runs Blue Wave, that's one of the nicest human beings. Like, I remember we always said it was the competition of high scoring because everybody got really high scores in Blue Wave. There's a photo here of me and Michelle. Me and Michelle used to be like a tag team duo. We used to go around and support everybody. The competitions. We were watching AR doing her patterns. And we had this little joke between us. Palm trees. If Michelle or somebody got really stressed, it was like, palm tree, remember you're like a floating tree in the forest, and like all this chill. Um yeah, only Michelle and others will get that joke. But anyway. So that was Blue Wave. I remember I do I remember on the way home from Blue Wave, like I was really unwell. Like I had this illness when I was 12, 13, 14, where I had this bacteria that was basically eating the inside of my stomach, and it was like making me really sick. My hair was falling out. I couldn't eat properly, and my stomach was in a lot of pain, and yeah, it was not ideal. But I remember on this flight home being really ill. I had a really bad stomach migraine. And there was another competition, I think, as well, where the lights was like weird and it made me quite ill as well. Um, yay for chronic illness issues majority of my life. Next competition looks like Northern Ireland Internationals. This one I do remember, because this was the first. I think I said in my last episode that was like the first one I like realized that I had to actually take this a bit more seriously. But this one, I remember. Oh, that's such a cute photo of me, Rihanna, AR, Rickshaw Dorothy. Oh, that is so cute. I remember this one feeling a bit more pressure. I knew like a lot of my family came to this one. I think this is the first time my aunt came, my aunt Lisa, and also there was other people there. Alice was there. I knew Alice was there for a while. I think my friends Ellie and Georgie came. I think some other family. I can't really remember who was there, but I know there was quite a lot of people there. Um, and this one I didn't really do very well, and it was the first competition I didn't massively do very well in. Um, she says that, but I'm looking at this photo and I've got at least two medals. That is not bad, but I didn't medal in individuals. I remember at this one too, there was me, Darcy, and Emma were hanging out together. I remember before I went on, Emma was like helping me like feel less nervous and stuff. It's just amazing. My mom wishes she got a photo of this, but there's like me, Darcy, and Emma, and we're like lined up and we're like all standing with our backs faced to the like, and we were watching people. And yeah, it was just kind of nice to like see the like the generations. And I always helped Darcy with her patterns and the younger kids. I always loved helping the younger kids, like being a role model and support for them. Not even the younger kids, just like my friends as well. Like I just always loved to help people. That has kind of translated into my social action and activism podcast career, and even my degree now, childhood and youth studies. I always just loved like working with children and young people and helping others, not even just children and young people. So that was that competition. I also remember being so like amazed at watching Peter and Emma. And Peter did a freestyle and he was doing like backflips and it was amazing. This is the first time I had ever seen freestyle. And there was a seminar the next day. I don't really remember anything about that seminar. I think there was two, and I think I only managed to stay for one because we were all absolutely shattered after the Saturday. And I was in year nine. I had a lot of homework. I went to like an all girls grammar school that was really intense. It just really full on. So I had a lot of homework. So I only stayed for one seminar. I do not remember anything about that seminar. I'm just looking at the photo here. I have no idea who the guy even is in the photo. And then I got my blue belt. Me and my dad always joked about this. Blue belt was like the one belt that nobody seemed to have. There was never really any blue belts at competitions or seminars or anything, and people didn't really seem to stay a blue belt for long. It was kind of like the transition period. You just were a blue belt for a few months and then you were a red tag. I think I don't actually know why this is. I'm not even gonna pretend I know, but I have a photo here of me with my blue belt. Oh, love it. Um, and there's another little video here of me and all the kids from the Saturday class. Oh my gosh, Amy, you look so young. You're so cute. I'll send you this video. We were with Peter and he has like a trophy. I think he won an award through Queens for his like dedication to taekwondo and commitment. So well done, Peter. Everybody knows how amazing you are. Um, Me and Peter were so close. Like everybody really obviously loved Peter. We loved all the black belts. We thought we were like so cool, like they were hanging out with us. But me and Peter had like a really special like friendship. Shout out to Peter, by the way. I miss you. Hope you're good. But I don't know, we just got on like really, really well. I got on really well with like basically everybody. I don't know, I always really liked talking to Peter. Like he was always really smart and like knew good stuff and we had like loads of stuff in common. And like the sweetest story, like the sweetest thing I always remember is because one year for Christmas, I always got the coaches, I always got people Christmas presents and me and my friends as we got older we did Secret Santa, but at the start we got Christmas presents for everybody. They wrote it like they were basically my family, so obviously I got them presents for Christmas and birthdays. I remember Peter got me the Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nightstand book, and I still have that book sitting on my bookshelf because it was his favorite book and he used to tell me about it. And he got me that for Christmas one year, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. So I've kept that. But anyway, I digress. So, um, yeah, I was a blue belt um for a little while. Doesn't look like it was very long. I love looking at my photo stream because majority of the photos are all taekwondo related in some way, not even competitions, birthday parties, and photo of all of us in a hot tub. But we get to the Handang 2017. This was the one where there was more kids from the other club than there was from our club. And there's just a photo of me and AR pretending to do self-defense on each other. But like I'm literally standing 2 feet away from her, so I'm pretending to hit her in the face. But like there was no way I was going to hit her in the face. Like I'm flipping 2 feet away from her. I don't really remember that Handang, I'm going to be honest. I'm sure it was great fun, but nothing massively memorable stands out for that one. Thank you all for listening to my blue tag, blue belt experiences, and I will see you all next week for red tag, and I hope you all have a good rest of your week. Now, red tag is definitely where it gets to become a little bit turbulent for me, so just a pre-warning, there might be a little bit of like emotion. It'll be okay, I'm sure. Take care, guys. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast. If you want to connect with me further, you can find me on LinkedIn at Eden Byrne, and be sure to check out all the other amazing podcasts on Be the Change Media Network.